Ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between, we are live once again with some Div 4 Irish Dota, the Irish Dota League Season 6. This is our loser bracket finals game between the sides of Five Stuns, No Brains, and Team Sosal. Taking through the game tonight is myself, Runnintel, and joining me for the first time on the cast of Death. Let's see some love in the chat. We have Benny. Benny, how are we doing?
Doing pretty good. Extremely nervous, but excited to see some Dota. I'm
And some
looking
Dota
forward
we
to
will
see
see.
Sosal play, especially.
So an interesting team. We were talking about this before the game. Both of these teams have not come against each other so far because they had to actually forfeit in the previous game. But So have been winning recently. Had a very rough group stage, whereas Five Stuns No Brains pretty much stomped through the group stage, drew against the group favorites, the only team not to lose them so far. Did drop into the losers bracket with a 2-0 loss to Cavan. But looking at these first picks, the Shadow Shaman and the Pudge are our first two picks here, Benny.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I really wanted to see some Pudge, especially at ESL, but didn't get to see it, so good to see it in this game.
Yeah, we mentioned before, I think both these teams definitely do favor this Pudge. We know that Muko plays it for 5 stuns. We know that Sosal play it mostly on Blymo, which is their pause 4. So two teams that do contest this hero. Interesting, Shaman picked up as well here. Shaman, I do think still an excellent hero. I think definitely weaker than he used to be with the elimination of the Chicken Fingers facet. His laning is a fair bit weaker than it used to be. And obviously people just like Big Snake, and Big Snake no longer being a thing is very sad. But interested to see if that new shard gets picked up here.
I think the new shard will definitely get picked up here. It seems very strong. Having an extra ward just to push and for team fights in general, it's so much damage.
Yeah, it really is, and also opens up some earlier opportunities that you wouldn't have had. Stuff like taking that Torm at 20 with Shaman becomes something that you can do without having to drop your big snakes. It's handy when you're trying to roach to tank some hits. So lots of utility coming out of that new shard. Going to see how they use it here. Second pick up for the side of Team Sosol is, I think, the hero that has been single-handedly the most absolutely gutted by this patch, with the exception maybe of Clockwork, which is Warlock.
I miss Warlock so much. He was so strong. I still think he's a solid pick here, especially, he's one of the safer options you can go for early on. But with all the nerfs, maybe not the best pick at the moment.
Would you say the nerfs lie around the fact that he no longer gets that Grimoire?
Yeah, the Grimoire was just too strong. Having that like early lead and being able to keep the pressure on, it was so good. But Facet's now being gone. I don't know what Ice Frog was thinking. It's sad.
Next two pickers are the Tusk and the Razor. The Tusk, it's a hero that I don't think was particularly reliant on facets anyway, insofar as very often was just going for the tag team rather than the drinking buddies anyway. The Razor pick is more interesting to me though, because I would have thought that was a hero that was quite reliant on that Thunderhead facet.
Yeah, I thought Razor was knocked out in the new update, but it could still be good here. It depends on what they pick. I personally would have picked it as a counter pick, but going for it first was pretty brave.
Definitely pretty brave. I mean, even into what we've seen so far, Pudge into Razor, not the greatest matchup in the world for a hero who wants to be moving around the fights, but Pudge obviously going to have to take a lot of damage if he is going to be knocking down that Razor. Looking at the rest of the bans for 5 stuns, they've quite heavily banned out a lot of MMR Slayers heroes, which makes a lot of sense as he had two incredible performances in the previous series. And the next pickup for Team Soso, we're talking about, heroes we don't have to do a lot of thinking. We've got Pudge, we've got Warlock, and we've got Bristleback as this third pick.
I mean, banning out the Viper and then picking up the Bristleback, can't speak, was pretty good. It was pretty good at ESL, and definitely with against things like Tusk who want to brawl early on, it's going to be good for them.
Follow-up pick for them is going to be the Puck. We have seen the mid laner on the side of Sosal play this 3 times so far. It's been Nothing to Say's most successful hero at this event, and it is a hero which I think is a little bit scary sometimes to play into a shaman. So I'm interested to see how that goes for them.
Yeah, it's scary if he gets caught, but if he's good enough, with all that mobility, he can dance around them. I think it's especially good against Razor and Tusk because they want to get on top of you, they want to stick to you. It's going to be quite hard with the Puck, though.
Next pickup for the side of 5 stuns No Brains is the Lifestealer. This is Maitu Karma's most played hero of the tournament. It's looked very strong. It's good into Bristle. How do you rate it in this draft?
Personally, I like it. I mean, first pick Bristle and Pudge. It's very good against them. I don't know how it's going to deal against a Puck, but maybe the rest of his team have got that covered.
Waiting now on these last couple bans out. We get a ban out on the Morphling from Five Stuns No Brains. We did see a Marslayer pick that once in one of the playoffs, and it was looking pretty good. So not massively surprised to see that ban out. The counter ban is against the Sniper. It seems like Sosal more so not definitely haven't done their homework on the side of Five Stuns No Brains in terms of what they're banning, and we're just banning heroes they don't like to play against. It feels like.
Yeah, I don't see any players picking Sniper on their team, but you know, if they hate it, they hate it.
Sometimes it's just nice to pick what's comfortable for you. The final ban out for Five Stuns is the Slark, obviously with a lifesteal on our team, with a Razor. That's not a hero you particularly want to be going into. And we're waiting on the last pick for them now. So looking at the mid pool available that they like to play, the Ember Spirit is still available. The Beastmaster is still available. Although they have played Razor mid on the mid laner on Dearest Canine. So it'll be interesting to see if he chooses to do that here. Do we think it's a mid Razor, or do you think it's more likely we see it go into the safe lane?
Considering their picks, I think they picked it early on as a flex pick, but it's definitely not a mid Razor. They picked OD. Is OD strong now right now, do you think?
Is OD strong is one question. Is OD strong in Division 4 of the Irish Dota League? Most certainly. This is what I'd say. Like sometimes, there's kind of an internal meta going on at this side of the bracket, and OD is extremely strong. It's kind of one of those trump card heroes. And considering the mid laner on 5 stuns is, I believe, one of the highest MRs in this division, it's going to look pretty
I do
nasty.
like it against the puck.
Oh, sorry. That's my bottle opener accidentally plays the A-Team theme, and I struggled to open my bottle once or twice. My apologies. I didn't think so. I was far away from the mic. I didn't think it'd come through, guys. I hope you enjoyed that little musical entourage. Last pick for the side of Sosal. Their pause one is going to be an Abaddon.
Abaddon. Okay, I'm a little shocked about these picks, to be honest. Not what I would have gone for, but we'll see how it goes, I guess.
That's the beauty
Against
of Mid 4 Dota. Anything can
yeah.
happen.
I think with the amount of fighting they want to do with the Tusk and the Razor early on, sticking on top of them, Bristle and Abaddon are good to stick in there and take them on, but not sure.
Gonna have to wait and see. A reminder, folks, this is a best of 3 series, so get yourself a nice drink, settle in for the evening. We could be going late. On paper, should be heavily favored for 5 stuns, no brains. They're coming into this as the clear favorites, but Team Sosal looking very good in their last 2 series. So we're going to see if they can pick it up this time. Winner of this game will go through to the finals, where they'll play versus Cavan Crash in the finals of Div 4. So let's get into this and see who is going to be victorious based on the drafts alone. And I know this is a difficult question because these drafts are a bit out there, Benny, but who would you favor?
Definitely favoring 5 stuns here. I think the ODE pick was really good against the puck because they were going to have issues against it, but I think that was their only issue. So picking the ODE has fixed it, and they're likely to just roll over them.
Gonna have to wait and see. Let's kick off into this game. Immediately, we see a smoke coming out from the side of the 5 Sosal boys, whereas 5 stuns slowly walking in towards their own high ground. Looks like we might get a level 1 clash between these two teams. I think that this should benefit Sosal potentially. I mean, you have the Bonds, you have the Warlock Quills, you have a Pudge. I don't know if they want to take this level 1. Jesus, there is a lot of chatting going on here between these two teams already. Holy moly.
They're getting competitive, they're getting into it, needs to happen.
I'm just gonna drop one line that's been said here. I knew you were animals, but I guess you have honed in on being turtles. So no love lost between these two sides. I hope that the animosity of these animals maintains to be true. This might be the Dota 2 zoo by the end of this game. It seems like the side of Sosa have pivoted towards just under this mid tower. So not going to be spotted out here in the end. And it seems like we aren't going to get that level 1 engagement. Unless the
They do
Pudge
see
gets
the
out of
Tusk.
here. They do see the Tusk. They are walking towards them, but not fast enough to be able to do anything here, unfortunately. So all they're able to do is drop the sentry, and it's just out of range of the sentry placed by 5 stuns. So they're pretty pleased with that one. They also ping out where the ward is. So going to get that mid ward exchange and no level 1 fight, which Sosal probably wanted.
Pudge looking for a cheeky hook there on the bottom side, but knowing they were on the top side, not sure what they were thinking. I guess they don't want to fight early.
Yeah, sometimes it can just You know, they're too embarrassed to throw a hook because they know if they miss it, it'll just feel really, really bad for them. You know, you never want that to happen.
Yeah.
Coming in towards this bottom lane, we have the Shaman and the Lifestealer playing into the Bristleback. And strange enough, it's actually a 4 Warlock. It's the 4-lock.
The Forelock. I mean, I do play it a fair bit in my own games. I don't think it's his best position. I think the push should have been 4, but maybe they think it goes better with the Bristleback.
Maybe this is the solution to no Grimoire. A lot of damage taken early here by the Lifestealer and by the Shaman, actually tanking up a lot of that wave and using a lot of their resources. They're probably pretty happy with that level 1 trade here on Sosal. So far, lane's looking fairly even, except for this mid lane where the OD is already 4-2 with the puck, just 1-0. It's going to be a very difficult game for this little dragon, right?
I think so. I'm more excited to see this Bristleback and Warlock lane. If they did pair them up, then I'm only assuming they want to spam heals on Bristleback, play aggressive, maybe go for some early kills.
Oh,
And see if
certainly.
that
And the
works out
Quill
for
is
them.
naturally quite good with that damage coming out here. Hang on, bit of a go here potentially, but they are just taking way too much damage from those Quills to be able to do anything about this. So
Yeah.
some attempted goes, but in the long term, when you're playing against Warlock in a war of attrition, it's just not going to work out for you. So Sosal actually doing quite well in this off lane. The other lanes, it seems not so much, but definitely a nice start for them.
Looking over this Abaddon carry now. They're fighting. Tusk going in hard.
First blood is drawn there by Muko on the Tusk. Blimo going down, and now trouble here for the Abaddon. One more click is all it's going to need in order for him to go down. Does pop off the Aphotic Shield at the last second, so is able to avoid that death there in the end. And quick one for you, Benny. If you want to re-click that broadcaster, it'll bring you on to Taylor's, because I think you have to redo it after draft stage. I just forgot about that. Just in case that's not working for you. Just a heads up.
Yeah, it's still not clicking it, but...
I'm sorry. Well, we'll just go with what we have then. Looking towards this mid lane, so Puck takes a lot of damage there in that trade. 10-6 versus the 6-1 of Puck so far. OD with a full lane as well to be able to take here. Things looking pretty damn nice for the Outhouse Destroyer here, right?
I'm surprised by it, to be honest. I thought Puck would have been able to push him back a bit more, but OD's farming away nicely here.
I think there's a bit of an MMR differential between these two players as well. So it's always going to be a lane that they kind of struggled on, and every low MMR player kind of struggles against this OD hero. It just does so much damage. It can stop you from like taking those range creeps, and a lot of the strategies that are often used against it, like creep pulling and stuff, just aren't that common in those divisions, in those brackets. Looking back towards this top lane, Razor's 11-5, and this Abaddon really struggling to get the CS. Has recovered somewhat from that go, but I mean, this is probably not what you want to see in your safe lane, right, Benny?
No, looking over the difference now, the last hits, OD is triple, more than double the Puck's last hits, and Abaddon is quite far behind compared to the Lifestealer. Going in for the hook, they're looking for an early fight, but it didn't go well for them last time. I think they should be playing passively, just getting what they can.
Yeah, the Puck with the attempted hook there tries to get something out of this, but now it gives them time to go. They know the hook is down. They can do the damage, and they take down the Abaddon. Follow-up kill is imminent onto this Pudge, and indeed they get it. So it's 2 quick kills in this off lane. The off lane going fantastically so far for the side of 5 stuns. And looking at these last hit charts, all 3 of their lanes currently doing excellently, with Lifestealer picking up a lot of CS in the last couple of minutes. I think likely off a lot of pulls coming out from the Shaman. The camp still left entirely uncontested.
See, that's exactly why I thought they should play passively. I think Pudge needs to try and get some early rotations, maybe. Go through the gate, try get the Lifestealer, shut him down a bit. But they're just leaving him to get some free farm here. I know Abaddon's struggling, but they should consider swapping the supports, maybe. Keep him alive instead.
Yeah, not a bad shout, honestly, all things considered. And, you know, Pudge, oh, hang on, I'm trying to go here onto this Bristleback, just doing a bit of a love touch there. It's going to be immediately healed by the Warlock. Warlock making for some exciting laning gameplay, as always. Back in towards this mid lane, though, 23-9 now on this OD. Puck starting to come back 14-1, has the levels, kind of spam out the waves now, right?
Yeah, it's not looking favorable for him at all. He's getting pushed back now. It was looking okay at the start, but the last hits are just it's overwhelming.
I think the scariest thing for this Puck is that the OD is going to get 6 first. Hang on, jump towards this top lane. Another go out onto Blimo on this Pudge. That is now A 0-3-0 Pudge. So really struggling to get the impact out of this pause 4, and Razor definitely being the beneficiary of all that.
Razor not being meta anymore. I thought it would be a problem at the start, but he's getting nice and fed, so it's definitely going to steamroll over this game, I think. 22 last hits on him right now. He's got more than the Abaddon.
Yeah, all 3 lanes definitely going towards the side of 5 stuns. You know, they were made wait before this game, but lost lag. And meanwhile, the level 6 comes out on the OD. He pops that Sanity's Eclipse and drops the puck. And they had just TP'd in their Pudge to try and save it. So Pudge gonna at least leech up some XP here, but that's about as much as Pudge can do in this position.
Do you think he's looking for a hook here by himself?
I think he might be.
Him. Oh, he is.
Oh, not quite. Makes the attempt. You know, you miss everyone you don't throw, right?
I mean, honestly, I think he's better off not missing. I mean, not landing that hook.
Oh, stolen DD rune here. Really nice play there by the OD. Thought he might go in after that, but meanwhile, My2 Karma actually kills off the Bristleback in the meantime.
Finally getting through those Warlock heals. That's big for Lifestealer.
Most definitely. And now the Lifestealer in the strongest position in this game, heading towards that fast Radiance build.
Ooh, feeling comfortable enough to just dive under the tower now. I mean, with no push there, there's not a lot he can do.
Absolutely. That tag team plus that leash. They're TPing in a lot of heroes here. Almost 4 heroes coming into this top lane. They're really going to have to get something out of this. The Pudge hook is going to have to hit. They'll probably get this Tusk, but I think that's all they're going to get. And they might not even get that. They need the Pudge to land the hook here. Will the Pudge land the hook? It does. Connects. First kill on the board potentially here for Team Sosal. But the Tusk is going to make him work for it. Oh, almost away with the shards there.
Nice try. 3 rotations, though, and they still got the Abaddon kill. That is big for 5 stuns.
Definitely. And an enabled Jam Apple on the Shadow Shaman to steal the Shrine from the other side. Get that early boost of experience for both supports. They get the double Shrines. That brings up the Tusks level 5, the Shamans level 5, closing level 6, whereas the supports on the side of Sosal still in the low level 4s.
Both Wisdom runes going to 5 stuns here. They're already quite far behind on Sosal. They probably should have looked at their timing before doing such a big rotation to top.
Most certainly. And now with those supports not going to get those level 6s soon. Such critical 6s as well. Like, you know, the Warlock as well as the Pudge. That's a lot of their lockdown, actually. When I look at their team, I have just realized they have no non-ultimate stuns.
They have a chance here to collapse on Lifestealer. He's not level 6 yet.
Could be an issue. They're bringing in the puck as well. They have a lot of heroes here to try and contest. There are TPs ready, though, for the OD. None on the Razor, but one getting delivered, and none on the Tusk. But it seems like they're just going to give up on this one before it even starts. The puck instead going to rotate into the jungle and try catch them there.
I think if they want to bring this game back, they need to try and get something on the Lifesteal, especially while he's not level 6. They need to shut him down, try and snowball off of it, bring the game back a little bit.
And in the meantime, while this is all happening, they're going to be losing a lot of HP on 2 towers. The OD pressuring in the mid, as well as the Razor pressuring in this top lane. So they actually give away quite a lot for that rotation. They still haven't gained anything for it. They have now TP'd the puck top. They're going to try going the Razor instead here, it seems like, Benny. And in they come. The Abaddon's the first, but he hits the creep instead of Razor. So Razor's able to walk away. But in comes the puck. The puck does drop the Dream Coil. Puck taking a lot of damage here from this Razor. Pops off that leash. Still doing a ton of damage. Both Abaddon and Puck getting quite low. If he turns and right-clicks once, I think he gets some. And yes, he does. Down he goes. They do manage to finish off the Razor at the end of that, but lose nothing to say in order to do so. And now in comes the Tusk. The Tusk is here on top of this Abaddon, but lacking the damage to finish him off. So it is going to be a 1-for-1. And you're probably pretty happy with that one if you're Sosal, but you do lose your mid tower in the meantime.
I'd be happy with it, taking out the Puck and the Razor. It's a good trade for Sosal, honestly, considering how behind they are. Shutting down the Razor, even just for a little bit, is very valuable for them.
Yeah, and quite behind they are, and they've just lost that Ring of Health, which was going towards this dearest old Bristleback as well, which doesn't seem like a big deal until you realize that's almost a quarter of his net worth. So kind of sad there for him. Meanwhile, the side of 5 stuns having a really nice start to this game, especially this OD. OD building in towards that Witchblade will be finished very soon. And when that's done, the damage output it does, it just feels like it's going to be really overwhelming for Sosal. They do have the borrowed time up here, though, which means they will live the initial jump at least. They pop the snakes onto the tower. The banish is here. The OD comes around the back. Basically nullifies the effectiveness of that ultimate. Going to be going down again here on MMR Slayer. So really, really tough game so far for this Abaddon. 0-3-1 from Marslayer, and things going from bad to worse for Sosal.
Not looking so great here. They keep every play they're trying to make, it just keeps getting countered. It's looking pretty bad. Abaddon needs to go into the jungle, maybe farm up a bit, and then try and make a play later on.
Is there any items that they could hit that you think potentially make this better? Obviously, they need the 6 on their supports, right? You need those Warlock ultis, you need those Pudge dismembers. But beyond that, is there any itemization they get? Maybe the Blink Dagger on the Pudge that could make them have a fighting chance in these fights?
Well, personally, I don't think they should be fighting at the moment. They really need to recover from this. So I think the support should be building things like Force Staff, maybe get out of those ice shards, get away from the Razor, anything they can do to survive while their cores farm up.
Meanwhile, as we say that, Miposhka on the Warlock goes down in the bottom lane. That is the Warlock gone. Maitu Karma picking up that kill as well, accelerating the march towards that Radiance, the Sacred Relic done in just a few last hits.
Yeah. Team 5 stuns all of their cores top net worth right now. It's looking quite rough.
Yeah, 2.5k diff between the mid laners at this point also. Quite rough. Go in now towards the tower. They do have their Warlock here, but Warlock still doesn't have level 6, so Tusk immediately jumps on top of Warlock, drops down the shards. The Bristle decides, throw a couple goos, but that's the extent of help they're willing to do. But in comes the Puck, and they do have the Dream Coil here. They could take out the Lifesteal, but a good clutch use there of the Rage and the Infest keeps him alive for now. Snake's now dropped by the Shaman just to pressure out this tower a little bit. Doesn't look like they're going to get this tower. Just some damage, and they do get their Lifesteal out of there. And in the meantime, while that's going on, K9 did catch out the Pudge again. So another death onto the dearest Blymo Pudge. 1-5 now, and it seems like the Puck could be in some trouble here. Out comes the right click from OD. They do have an orb up on the Puck. Will they follow the orb with the hero? Oh, maybe orb's a little bit too early. The ult is dropped there by Outward Devour. That will be enough to kill off. Nothing to say on this Puck again. Even more money going towards this OD. They TP in the Abaddon to kill him, but I don't know how he does that at this point, Benny.
No, with the Abaddon rotation there, I think he's just losing more farm time. It's not good for him. They should have let the Puck go down and just kept farming the jungle. He's currently trying to build his Radiance here, but he's not close to it.
Definitely feels like it. There's a 7k net worth difference now at just 12 minutes. This is feeling pretty tough for our Ukrainian friends.
I think when you're this far behind, Radiance probably isn't the best farming item for him. It's going to take him too long to hit it, and when he eventually hits it, the game's going to be over.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they were still building into that. That is a tough build-up, to say the least. The 30-minute Radiance could be coming in potentially, but his space is just being consistently dominated by this Razor. Razor hasn't had a reason to leave the top lane yet. There's been no big fights that have forced him out. He's got a Guardian Grease finish. Hang on, ult now dropped onto the OD, but OD immediately just walks away from that one. Gets out straight away. They might save their Bristle, and they have managed to shard in with the Golem. They brought in the Bristle and the Pudge and the Puck. This is their best chance for a fight. They do kill Muko, so another kill on the board for the side of Sosal. Hook comes out from the Pudge, but you miss a poke, you don't throw. What can I say? They get away from this one.
Are they going to go back into this fight? He's looking for the shackles. Drops you.
Indeed, they throw the big ults. They do have the cluster, so they are able to get out of there for now, but walks back in with it. So down they go on the Shaman. It ends up being a 2-for-1. So the most successful fight of the game thus far for the side of Sosal.
Did Lifestealer just deny the Shadow?
I think he may have tried to, but I don't think there's anything deniable on him.
Yeah.
So just giving one last wave to an old friend. Speaking of dead, let's say... Oh!
Ooh, just about missed.
Unfortunate there for the Tusk. Very fortunate there for the Abaddon. Means the Abaddon will get out of this one. Very useful phase boots. Actually, Abaddon doing much better after that last fight. A lot closer to the Relic than he would have been. Looking more like a 20-minute Radiance now.
20-minute Radiance, better than 30 minutes. Maybe he can come back from it.
Indeed, at least has some utility at that point. Lifestealer, though, as we say in Ireland, happy as a pig in shite. The 7.2k net worth, the Radiance finished up, the phase boot's done, farming away, not a care in the world. Going to start marching down this top lane and really squeezing that pressure of the Abaddon.
104 last hits on him now. I feel like even if they did try and jump him, he could just man up and take them on.
I mean, we saw it that last fight. He just popped off that Enrage, and once that happened, they just lack the stuns to lock him down. They literally only have ultimate stuns on the side of Sosal. This is something we didn't notice during the draft. Like, They have slows, sure, from Warlock and Bristle. Other than that, it's Dream Coil and Dismember and Warlock Golems. Nothing
They're
else.
completely reliant on the Poco and Rock. It's not great for them. Maybe if the Pudge lands some really valuable hooks, they could get some pickoffs and then snowball from there. Keep pushing forward. But they're too tanky. If they hook in the Lifestealer, they don't kill him. If they hook in the Tusk, he snowballs. It's not looking great.
It's basically just hook the Shaman at this point. Or OD, I suppose. If OD is caught in the wrong position, could be a really valuable kill for them to get. But even if you hook in the Lifestealer right now, Lifestealer with Phase and a
You just helping
Radiance
him out.
and 1300 HP, not good. How are you, lads? Comes out from Blymo. I believe Blymo is the one player on Team Sosal who is living in Ireland. So he's clearly picked up on the local lingo in his time here.
I've learned to say what's the crack to every Irish person I meet, you know?
Yeah, we love when people do that, especially when the Americans do it. You should say it in like a really obnoxious American accent. What's the crack, man?
What's
Happy
the
St.
crack, man?
Patty's.
Hey,
We love
man.
that shit. It's fantastic. I mean, Liverpool is basically Ireland, right? It's like a little enclave. I think I'm willing to
Yeah,
say that.
sure. Very scouse, but it's the same thing.
Why don't you have a Scouse accent, Benny? I was thinking that as we were watching this game. You know, where's your Scouser accent? I feel like that'd be great for cast.
Because I've done what every person from my area does, and we say we're from Liverpool. We actually live about 20 minutes from Liverpool in the Wirral.
Ah,
It's kind of like posh Scouser. Everyone hates us.
there was a unpause from Team Sosal there. Matters, you dumb fuck, coming out from K9 in the mid lane.
Not looking
Clearly, no
happy in the
love
chat.
lost between these two. Give me your best Scouser accent, though, Benny. I need to hear it. Give us your best Scouser.
With my throat currently.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's do it.
okay. Checking on a can of Coke. You alright, lad?
That's very fucking good. Okay, that was actually way better than I had any expectations that it would be. Fair play.
I mean, I've got a fair few Scouse friends.
Clearly, moving in towards this bottom tower now, it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot that the side of Sosal can do to contest this, and rightfully they just go back into their own jungle, start farming up. They are getting closer towards that relic on Abaddon. The road towards the 20-minute radius is well and truly paved with good intentions, and it feels like we were in a car traveling towards it, perhaps just a very slow old car that breaks down occasionally. Meanwhile, the side of 5 Stuns are keeping their foot to the pedal on the metal of their Veyron. These snakes come out, they're pushing this tower extremely quickly. Just 2 outer towers going to be left after this, and it doesn't feel like they're going to slow down anytime soon. Feels like they just walk straight mid, straight down to Tormentor, straight into Roche, and maybe start putting the kaputs on this game.
The comment you made earlier about the draft 5 Stuns is definitely better. Their push is strong, their CC is strong. They seem to have everything.
Yeah, it's a really nice draft they've come out of this game with. I mean, the matchups are good as well, but I think the big difference maker is really just the CC, as you mentioned. You cannot draft a team with no stuns. 5 Stuns, it's in their name, you know? They know how to draft simple. Whereas Sosa, no.
If you miss the hook, there's not much going on for you there unless you want to put a big ult for 1 kill. It's just not worth it.
I reckon during the drafting stage, Team Soul says, yeah, no damage and stun, no damage. That's a bad deal. And consequently, we just didn't see it picked up.
Looking at
I
the
don't know who
wall.
Creamy Quaver is, but I'm getting some nice messages in chat. Casino till sunrise, run until my goat. I assume that's one of the Money Talks boys. It was lovely hanging out with you guys last weekend. Thank you so much for the support. Back into this game, currently a 9k net worth lead for the side of the 5 Stuns. I mean, even if they do get this Radiance, which I'm tracking with a keen eye in the bottom right corner, can they fight? I mean, with the Warlock OT, maybe, and a big coil?
I think it would have to go perfectly for them. A big coil, a big Warlock ult. Apart from that, no, I don't think so. Warlock's build here as well, it's confusing me a little bit. You know, if they're quite far behind, they're not building defensively in the slightest. Going for an Aether Lens here, I don't think it's going to help them much.
Yeah, kind of an interesting choice, Aether Lens first Warlock. I haven't seen that one before, being honest with you, Benny.
I mean, I won't lie, I do it a lot. Aether Lens is my favorite item in the game. It's not good. Warlock? Can't say it's good, but when you want to channel soup far back, it's, you know, it's beautiful. It's relaxing.
Yeah, I believe we are experiencing a Money Talks raid right now in the chat from a few of these folks. So obviously Money Talks must have won their game in the Kobold League quite quickly. Either that or they lost extremely quickly. We have to wait and ask them after this game. But looking back into this one, this Lifestealer absolutely dominating so far. 10.4k. Almost finished the Sanj and Yasha now. Feels unkillable as of present.
176 last hits. It's so strong
Five
compared to
zero
the
zero.
98. Oof.
Just walks the tower. There's nothing you can do. They drop into the snakes. It's right around the timing of the tormentor as well. So I kind of like how they've taken these towers, going for the bottom, then the mid, then the top to line themselves perfectly up to be able to go towards that teleporter, take out that tormentor. It feels like it's going to be quite easy for them to do. And then once the Roche is gone, that kind of feels like that's their timing, right?
Abaddon has enough for a Sacred Relic here. He just got it. Maybe that would be enough to turn the fight.
Oh, here we go. The 20-minute Radiance. We called it. Just 600 more gold. Could be a 21.
Could be 21. Depends if they take a fight here.
Doesn't feel like they want to quite yet. Although they do have 5 heroes there. They could choose to smoke up. Unless they're all just choosing to farm the same camps.
Well, it's coming up to 20 minutes. I think 5 stuns are going to start playing around bot side. Maybe take the gate, take Tormentor, and then look for a kill from there.
Let's see if Sosal choose to actually try and fight this. Because they did have 5 heroes sitting in that triangle. But they have all now dispersed quite quickly. They're moving in towards the top side of that map. And it feels like this Tormentor is going to be largely uncontested as a consequence of that. They think they're going to try catch out the side of 5 stuns in their jungle, but sadly 5 stuns are long gone, ready to take down this Tormentor in this bottom lane.
I think this is going to be an easy Tormentor for 5 stuns. With the changes making Tormentor go on the low ground now, it's a lot easier to invade. They could have smoked up, maybe looked for some big ults here, but they're not even going to try.
It is the Razor who ends up getting that shard. So Razor shard, really, really nice for that hero. It is now the Storm Surge. So it's what the old facet used to be. It's no longer the suck towards you thing. It's thing where when Eye of the Storm is active, you get twice as many strikes out of it. So really, really nice. It was the facet people weren't picking, I'm pretty sure. That wasn't Thunderhead is now the shard instead of the sucky static link that used to be.
Yeah, the facet changes were huge. It changed a lot of the heroes. I'm not sure if the Razor Shard now is better than the old one, but it's definitely going to help them in the fights in either way.
Goodbye, Warlock. Maposhka goes down and almost one hit immediate there at the back end of that fight. Didn't get a chance to live there. Just gonna breathe for 1 second and immediately chop down. Henbai and Creamy Quaver, drop your names in the chat. I'm trying to figure out which ones you are based purely off the name. I'm gonna assume maybe like 11 chromosomes. I'm gonna guess. We're gonna have to wait and see. Top lane, they sent 2 heroes to deal with the Lifestealer. 3 heroes actually. The Puck is also here.
Missing the hook.
Blymo
If
hit
he
one
really
up,
wanted
right?
to, it's free food for the Lifestealer.
I think he might have got one of them this game, but it's been a tough old punch game, I'll be honest with you.
They're warning shots, you know. If he actually lands it, he dies, so he just wants to show them, you know, try and scare them.
Yeah, it's like, that guy at school is like, I've done 5 years of karate, like, I'm gonna kick the shit out of you. I'm just choosing not to because my sensei told me not to. It's kind of the vibe they're giving off here. Like, oh, I'll throw it. I got one of these hooks. Black belt of karate here, baby. Yeah, this feels like a pretty free Roche. They're just kind of playing on a script now. You take the Torm, you take the Roche, you push the high ground, you have the advantage. Very safe, very disciplined.
They're not even going to try and contest it. I don't know if they think they can.
I really don't think they can. I mean, maybe with the 5 OTs, but they're almost better off at this point just holding that high ground. They've lost all their outer towers already. It's not going to get any better for them. They do pick up this Aegis, and it is going to go to Maitu Karma on this Lifestealer.
With his Radiance. Oh, Abaddon has the Radiance now. Okay.
Was it a 21 min or a 22 min?
I think it was a 21 minute.
We weren't tracking it, but he does have a finish up now, which will help his farming speed, but feels like there might not be much time to farm soon with all of these heroes marching down this mid lane, and some of them starting to invade towards this top side. They do show an Abaddon in the top lane, so Abaddon being quickly rolled upon. The OD is right next to him, does spot him out, the smoke breaks, and now they are on top of this Abba. We got pop the ulti, we got put them into the sanities immediately thereafterwards. There's the banish, the shaman is behind him, ready for the follow-up stuns. Not even needed, down he goes, MMR Slayer on this Abaddon. Not finding a way into this game whatsoever.
He only just got his Radiance, come on.
Didn't even get to use it. And meanwhile, All 5 of them are on top of the Lifestealer, who's on the high ground for whatever reason. They drop the Warlock OT, but the Lifestealer simply presses Q and walks away. New strategy, and suddenly they no longer have a Warlock OT for this fight.
You can tell he's confident. He knows he can just walk up, get away with it. Nothing can happen. No Warlock or Abaddon being dead. This is going to be an easy high ground for Team 5 Stuns, I think.
It really does feel like it as they drop these snakes onto this high ground. They do have that shard up. You can see that, you know, I wouldn't call it a big snake, but a medium-large snake coming out with that shard. The amount of added pressure with this Lifestealer hitting onto the space, with the Razor to back them up. They do have all 5 heroes back now. No Warlock ulti, no Abaddon ulti is the one thing that's probably dissuading them from trying to make a hero play here. But great hook out there from the Pudge. Lands onto this Lifestealer, but he probably regrets that hook immediately thereafterwards. Maybe not the target you want to go on.
He should have stuck to the warning shots.
Indeed, they do biff the OD ulti at least, so that is something for the side of Sosal. So a nice little marginal gain there, but as they get that marginal gain, they lose this bottom barracks. They're throwing out as many orbs as they can on the puck to try and dissuade this, but it's not going to be enough.
Going for the mid-rex now. Do you think they're just going to take them out one by one? There's not much threat coming out from Team Sosal.
Indeed, the Abaddon not even coming for this defense. He is farming out the small camps on the right side of the map. Another great hook, though. Is it going to work out this time? It might indeed, you know, but the Lifestealer is just too big. Starts chopping down onto the Pudge. The Pudge looks all but dead. They do take out the Aegis. That is their first kill in a while, so a nice one to pick up here.
And the Bristle has a lot of sticks.
Yeah, they do take out the Tusk as well. Buyback comes out from Warlock. They're on top of the OD. They kill the OD. Huge kill there. But not to say, had they gone too far here on the side of 5 stuns, it's a chain feed and a half, and a nice infest there from the Lifestealer does at least keep that Razor alive. So they buy back on the Poshka, but they get some really big kills in order to do so, and that's going to push this game back for a few minutes, I reckon, Benny.
Yeah, that was definitely some nice kills, crumbling towards the end there. But because of those kills, Abaddon just got his Blink Dagger, Puck just got the Blink Dagger. Maybe they can get some pickoffs from that and try to bring the game back.
Still feels somewhat rough for the side of Sosal, though that being said, it is still a 15k net worth lead for the side of 5 stuns. Going to need a lot more heroics like that, a lot more tier 4 dives before taking the tier 3 tower if they're going to win this game.
Well, if they play it smart with those blinks, they can get a couple of pickoffs here and there, you know, keep going. They might still have a chance, you know, there's always hope.
I think the real timing here is when the Abaddon has the Manta BKB, which is a fucking year and a half away, I will say. But
that's not even something to consider.
Yeah, I don't think so either. If he gets it, though, I think it could be pretty big.
Yeah. I mean, the Warlock is close to his Aghanims. Going straight for the Aghanims, just double downing on these big ults. Maybe that's the best call for the high ground defense. But he has to land it. If he misses it, then he's got nothing left.
Yeah, actually never finishing off that Ether Lens. I was going to say Ether Lens Ags might be the greediest Warlock build I've ever seen in my life, but choosing not to go for that this time and instead going straight into those Ags, as you said, trying to buttress up those tier 3 defenses that their team is reliant on. They do have all 5 ultis this time, and you do still have to be kind of careful here on the side of 5 stuns. You play this wrong, your OD, as we saw in that fight, very killable, but OD importantly now has the... does pop the ulti, so the jump in is unsuccessful there in the end. The Abaddon does lose that ultimate, but it's not enough to dissuade the side of 5 stuns. They are still fighting here. Hook comes out, it lands onto a creep, unfortunately, this time, so no Hook shenanigans in this fight. They get the bonds, but it's mostly onto creeps. The follow-up with the ultimate, the Warlock Golem is killed immediately, and now they have a pipe to keep the Warlock alive temporarily, but temporarily being the key word here. Another hero dead. They get a big hook out. This time it's onto the Razor, but the Razor very tanky, staying alive for quite some time here. Might go down to the Bristle, but a nice shackles there coming out from the Shadow Shaman is able to keep him alive for now, and the Lifestealer is wailing down on this Bristle back in the meantime. Arika now buys back, Blymo buying back on the Pudge, trying to do what they can to keep this game and their hopes in the Irish Dota League alive. They are but one set away. Another good hook coming out here this time from Blymo. It's onto the OD, but once again, a hook he may end up regretting as Tusk now on top of this Pudge. The rains coming down from both this Lifestealer as well as this OD. Just too much for the Fat Man to withstand. They also dropped their last use there of their fortify. So these towers going to go down extremely quickly. That's going to be mega creeps at 28 minutes for
It's
the
looking
side
like
of five
it's over.
stuns. Feeling
Yeah,
pretty rough indeed.
there's just not much coordination on Sosal here. They're throwing out the hooks, but then they're not following up. They're throwing out the rock by itself, but not following up on it. They really need to commit on just one person, try get those pickoffs. If they don't, then the lifestealer just heals back up. The shackles comes out and they turn it around. It's just not very well played.
Indeed, not managing to group up those ultimates. There's a big use there, the Dream Coil, but none of the rest of the ultimates are up, so it's a bit of a flaccid one. They are going to take down the Shaman at least, and now they're in with the Lifestealer, trying to take out this Warlock, and Warlock goes down immediately. Buyback now from the Warlock. Warlock, no ulti to speak of. Buyback also from the Shaman. They want to finish this game. They chop down the Lifestealer, and it looks like the Abaddon is going to follow in quick pursuit. Does not have ultimate, kicked back by the Tusk. 3 dead, only 2 left alive, no ultimate on your puck, and the creeps are marching in, and the heroes are there to back them up.
It was a good attempt to defend. I didn't think they would take another fight on afterwards, but they tried. Ending it now with the tier 4 towers. Mega creeps pushing in.
Feeling extremely ogre here. They jump in for one last fight. The Warlock just kicked immediately. Attempted Fountain Hook, but it looks like this might be all she wrote for game 1 of this series. 5 stuns, no brains. Able to pull it out. Quite a dominant performance indeed. 27k up at 29 minutes. They take game 1 of this best of 3 series.
Well, that was a fun game to watch.
Indeed it was. Folks, we are not done yet. In about 5 minutes, we'll be back with game 2 of this series. A reminder, this is an elimination game. Loser of this game goes home. Winner to face Cavan in the finals. We'll see you soon, folks.
10 seconds remain. 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between, we are live with Game 2 of the lower bracket finals of Division 4 of the Irish Dota League Season 6. Runantel and Benny taking you through this game with Big Taylor on the obs. Benny, what do we make of that first game?
I thought they had a few chances to bring it back, but they didn't play it the way they should have. Bit of a stomp. But maybe they've learned from it. Maybe they'll change their playstyle this time.
We're going to have to wait and see. 5 Stuns, No Brains, their early bans very heavily targeting the Pause 5. And Pause is one of Sosal, not letting him get his AM or his PL, which he won his last 2 games on. And the famous Maposhka Lich, which they tend to first pick, is also banned out. They first pick for themselves the Shadow Demon. And most likely the opposing laner for that Shadow Demon will be the Shadow Shaman.
Sosal taking the Shadow Demon this time. Not the Shadow Demon, the Shadow Shaman. Similar names. It felt
shadows.
really strong last game. Maybe they felt the impact and they wanted it for themselves.
It is quite unpleasant playing Shadow Demon into Shaman. I'm going to say, like, the Shadow Demon has much more of a nice time being able to block out those quick shackles, quick picks coming out from both teams. We see a Silencer pick and then the Marcy Viper.
Yeah, they know what they wanted. I guess they're going to be playing aggressive with Marcy Viper. It's quite a run it down team so far. I really like the Shadow Demon pick. It's always one of my favorite supports.
It's one of those supports that always feels like it does so much.
It's
And
just
this
so
Marcy
much
Viper
utility in the
pick,
kit.
it's so scary. The Marcy pick me up with this Viper can just do such work in lane. It kind of fixes the one issue Viper has early, which is, that very cumbersome movement speed. And without that to worry about, this hero can really roll over games. You mentioned the first game when we were looking at the draft that the Viper was immediately banned. And I think not banning it this game may prove costly.
I'm excited to see what happens with it because Viper currently feels really strong, especially in lower brackets. It just runs them. You run them down with it. There's nothing they can do. It's just sad to watch.
Next pickup for Team Sosal is the Wraith King. Now, Sosal play the Wraith King on Pause 3. It is actually their most successful hero of the tournament. Every game that they've won so far has been with the Pause 3 Wraith King, which we're going to see on our Reek this game. Have there been any changes that are noteworthy to Wraith King after this patch?
Yeah, both of his facets are now in his kit in some way. The shard adding one of them and his inbuilt kit just having the skeletons now. So not only can he farm really well with the skeletons, he also hits harder if he gets the shard because it's the vampiric. No, not the vampiric. What's it called? The one where he hits and then it does damage afterwards as well.
Spectral Blade or something like that, I think it's
Yeah,
called. But
it just makes him feel really strong. But against Viper, when he lacks mobility and he wants to get up to their face, I don't know if it's the best pick here.
Yeah, Wraith King a hero which doesn't like to deal with that Viper. They won't be laning against each other, but as you said, being able to lock it down in the team fight is going to be quite important. The next pickup for Sosal is another of the heroes they have been winning on, so they're picking the win rate heroes here. It seems like it's going to be the Ember Spirit, an early Ember Spirit pick, I'd say.
Saw a lot of Ember Spirit at ESL. It seemed to be doing okay, but the win rate wasn't that high. I mean, just having the mobility and the damage, it's a safe pick.
Does feel kind of safe here. Looking into what the mid laner for the 5/5 stuns plays that matches well into it. He plays the Beastmaster, could see it here. I'd love to see him play. Apparently, he plays a mean mid Earth Spirit from my research, which I would love to see also.
Ooh, an Earth Spirit with a Marcy running it down. That could be fun.
Got a lovely message here in the chat. Want to point out, thank you so much to Farmville Chromosomes for the love you want to tell. Love you too, babes. It was awesome getting to hang out with you this weekend. Thanks for all the love. Hope I'll get to see you again
Chromosomes is in the
soon.
chat. He's a very
Yeah,
handsome man.
what a guy. What a guy. Rating on this next pick now for 5 Stuns. Taking their time with this next pick. I think traditionally they like to pick their pause 1 in this 4th slot. So we can do what My 2 Karma can do here. I mean, potentially could just run down the Lifestealer again into the Wraith King, into the Silencer. It's quite nice into both of them. It's not banned out yet.
I'm really not sure about this silencer pick. I've been thinking about it. I don't think it does much for them. Yeah, I feel the silencer of this game is going to get jumped on. He's going to die instantly. His ult doesn't even impact the game that much so far.
Does feel kind of rough. I guess they just blind picked into the Shadow Demon, hoping that'd be a way to stop those saves, stop them getting off that dispersion, and put a bit of a delay into their fights potentially here. But I don't know if that's going to be enough in a game like this. The next pick is out from Five Suns No Brains, and it's a Morphling.
Morphling, okay. With the changes on Morph, he feels very strong right now. He's on my ban list for a reason.
I mean, suddenly the Silencer pick has some utility, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure. If you can get that global silence off while he's full agi, or at least close to it, they have to back off in that fight.
Yeah, I don't love the Morphling pick here. Not gonna lie, into Shaman, into Silencer, it feels like a scary game to play Morphling. I wouldn't want to be a Morphling in this game, but I'm thinking the Viper Marcy might do enough here to potentially outset that.
Possibly. If they take out the silencer quickly in the fight, then the Morphling can come in and clean up. He is very strong at the moment, but they do have the ability to deal with it on Team Sosal. If they execute their play as well, then the Morphling can't do much.
Looking into the draft we have so far from 5 stuns, we're waiting on the pause 1 for Sosal, almost definitely. Wraith King has been played 3 by them every time they've picked it. What do you think would be a good pause 1 for their side this game?
Against that team, where they're going to be jumping on them constantly, you could go for a Lifestealer, or possibly an Ursa even. I wouldn't want to jump on a bear. Leshrac. Okay.
Yeah, the last pick is the Leshrac. We saw this a few times during Birmingham as well. A real benefactor from that new item, Crozier. Looks like a very good hero at present. But once again, I feel like they've taken what was a difficult draft for Sosal and made it better. In that they do have the tools to deal with these heroes.
They saw the silencer, and the picking here silence is good against. I'm not entirely sure about the pick. Although, as you said, Leshrac is strong at the moment. He was nerfed in the minor update, and without the IO, maybe it's not as good as we think it is. But, excited to see it in the mid.
Waiting on this last pick now for the side of Sosal. I mean, just think through it's true. Oh, they're going to pick straight away, and they pick themselves the Lifestealer here.
Hey, I thought so. Lifestealer gives them a chance to survive any sort of gank attempts anytime they jump on them and turn it around, especially with the Infest jumping into Ember Spirit and then traveling really fast across the map.
How do you think it lanes into the Marcy Viper?
I think it struggles against Viper, to be honest, but if he plays it safe, he stays under tower, he has the lifesteal, he could play a passive lane and farm quite nicely.
I gotta say, from the vibes I'm picking up from you here, I think this is a much closer draft than the previous game, right?
Definitely, yeah. It's definitely looking more equal, especially with I'm not sure about those picks against the silencer, but if they're confident in it and they can take out the silencer quickly, it could be good for them.
And they have non-ultimate stuns this time, Benny. That could be a big difference maker. They don't have a stun on an 80-second cooldown anymore.
Do you think they learned from the last game?
I think they might have. They saw those heroes walk away one too many times. We're like, you know what? Maybe we won't do this again. We're gonna have to wait and see. This is an elimination series. A reminder, the winner of this game will go into the finals of Division 4 of the Irish Dota League Season 6. Well, they will play against Cavan Cresh. I'm running tell alongside Benny and Taylor the Obs. Let's get into this game. Who we betting on for this game, Benny?
I'm not sure, honestly. I think 5 stuns are the better players in general, but with the team draft, if they were both on equal level, it could be anyone's game.
We're going to have to wait and see. Let's see how this one all works out. Look at that Wraith King win rate, 66% win rate. Incredible.
Wow.
Clearly a very strong Wraith King, and it's looked strong so far this tournament. So we're going to have to wait and see what they're able to do with this one this time. Reminder, Benny, to re-click that Wi-Fi thing after the drafting stage, and you should be into the cam. Should be working.
Yeah, seeing the mouse move around.
Fantastic. Here we go. So getting into this game so far, seems like both teams not going to smoke out this time, but sending heroes to meet each other in the middle. Maybe a gentleman's duel should be arranged between these two sides. You get good luck, have fun. Mute time coming out from Jam Apple. They do not want to hear any more flame from the side of Sosal. They are ready to collect their dinner money here, it seems.
Instant mute. Wow.
I
They don't
mean,
want to deal with it in the slightest.
it seems somewhat sensible in this position. I mean, when you're playing into a flavor like that, the best thing you could do is mute them so they're just having quiet satisfaction while they're living completely rentless, not rent-free in your heads. They check for the mid ward. They start walking in towards the Marcy, but the Shaman is behind the Lifestealer for some reason, which means they can't actually punish that there.
If Shaman was in position there, that was a dead Marty.
Indeed, it would be, but instead, all they can do is wander aimlessly around these runes. It seems like we might have a contest over this bottom rune. Based on the teams out in front of us, it seems like it should maybe favor the side of 5 stones, but they're sending their Leshrac in alone. This could be dangerous. Leshrac chooses instead not to contest this, and in the top lane, they do bring in the Shaman to try and put some pressure onto the Marcy, but it ends up being a nice, clean rune exchange at the end of that fight. Viper walking up, take the last one there in that jungle.
Yeah, with the disruption, it's going to be difficult for the Shaman to get anyone really, as long as he's in position.
It is a real difficult thing to play into. Like, as a Shaman, the one thing you don't want to see in your opposing lane is a long-range stun. It's just so frustrating. It means that anytime you go, you either have to wait for their stun to be on cooldown or instead go on the Shaman themselves. But seeing as the Shaman is going to be backing up a Lifestealer, that Lifestealer is probably quite difficult to kill as is, right?
Definitely. I mean, he's going to be difficult to kill, but if he steps up out of position and the Marcy jumps him, Viper can kill anyone quite quickly.
Indeed he can, and the early net worth is showing that, denying almost that entire first wave in front of the faces of Sosal, so getting very little out of that, while this Viper appears to be farming with reckless abandon. Meanwhile, looking into this mid lane, we have the Leshrac playing into the Ember Spirit. What do you make of this matchup?
With the Leshrac nerfs, not entirely sure. I haven't been seeing him much since the nerfs, unless he's been paired up with an IO. I think the Ember Spirit has the advantage here. Definitely more impact early on as well, going around to the different lanes. But it's going to be difficult for him to get last hits if the Leshrac keeps poking him.
Indeed it is, and still these networks keep flying up, and once again they are very favored towards the side of 5 stuns. The Ember Spirit doing well to keep parity against the Leshrac, but all their lanes under 3 last hits as of now, into the 7-3 and 7-2 of Team 5 stuns. So seems so far like a bit of a repeat of the previous lane. The Shadow Shaman this time is going to get a pull off, at least to try and reset the lane equilibrium in this top lane.
Yeah, they seem to be doing. They seem to have learned from the last game. They're trying to pull it back. I think as soon as this top lane hits level 3, though, on the Marcy Viper, they're going to be playing quite aggressively.
Indeed they are, and with that camp now blocked, that is going to be the only time he's able to do that for a while. Bit of a step forward here from the Shaman. Not punished that time. I think they're waiting for the level 3.
As soon as they get that level 3, I reckon they're going to jump the Shaman.
Yeah, very sensible play here. Another range creep tonight. I don't think they've actually gotten a range creep on the safe lane so far.
Very upsetting. I mean, it is difficult for them to step up.
Indeed it is. 6 denies on the Viper, 5 denies on the Marcy. There's 11 creeps denied by 2 minutes. It's just bullying at that stage, right? Oh, they got a range creep! Yes! Ooh. They did it. Caster Curse once again gets them the first range creep.
This mid lane's looking fairly even now.
Yeah, it's looking quite nice for this Ember Spirit, being able to get that 11-3 up on him. Gonna progress him into items. Definitely not as rough as the last game, that's for sure.
He is getting poked out, but not as much as he should be. And he's managing to get last hits, so that's all you can. That's all you want, really.
Indeed. Meanwhile, in this top lane, Marcy holding that wave in front of the tower. Pause comes out from MMR Slayer this time. So it seems the Sosal guys might need to fix something. They're having sound problems, it appears. On Silencer. Wow, there's definitely a joke in there somewhere. I'm just not smart enough to make it.
I'm working my brain. It's hurting.
Something man doesn't like talking. Something. I don't know. It's definitely there somewhere, Benny, right?
Yeah. Bro, muted for a reason.
Oh no, they're doing it again. I go meet your mom as the Jesus Christ, lads. All right, let's get back into this game.
Why are they being mean?
Let's ignore the chat real quick, because they say good one ready, and both teams are good. Muko reminding them to say good one ready first. And now they are unpausing once again, getting back into this game. So far, as we said, a very nice laning stage for the side of 5 stuns, but they are having a much closer mid contest than last game, and that could be a difference maker this game, right?
Yeah, for sure. As soon as that Ember hits level 6, if he keeps up with the farm against Leshrac, he can definitely do some bits around the map.
Level 3 now up. They immediately go onto the Lifesteal, but the Lifesteal pops that rage. It's able to get away with that quite quickly, but in comes the Marcy. Marcy jumps in onto the Lifesteal as well. There's a lot of stacks of the poison attack out onto this Lifesteal. Is able to walk away from that. Clever, they go for that go before this wave of creeps goes down. I think if the Viper is level 3 there, they both die.
Yeah, that was good from them. I think they knew that they hit a power spike at level 3, so trying to get some damage in there just before it was the right play there, I think.
The quadruple range creeps all rain in, and it means that they can't get that go off, and it means they actually get quite a positive trade out of the back of that one. Meanwhile, looking back into this mid lane, there is a level advantage for the Leshrac. Leshrac has bottled up that room. It seems like a play might be going out here onto this big old Ember, but instead just choosing to poke him out just a little bit further, drop those lightning storms, and TP comes out from the Ember.
An interesting TP.
Yeah, it,
Worried that he couldn't get past the Leshrac, but Leshrac wanted to go back to farm anyway, so not sure if that was entirely needed.
Yeah, the Edict would have been quite problematic there. Go now attempted. They do drop the Shackles onto the Marcy, but the Marcy now, with that level 3, is not fearful of this Go in the slightest. And it's the Lifesteal who comes out the worst from that trade, now looking very low and ready to be finished off at a given moment.
Yeah, as I said, running at them as soon as they hit that level 3. If they step out of position now, they're in a lot of danger of just dying.
Indeed they are, and feels like the Ember is starting to be pressured out mid quite heavily now that they have the level 3 in the Edict and the level 2 in that Lightning Storm. The Leshrac really starting to place some pressure onto the opposing mid laner, and he's going down quite low here on the Ember. Stays alive just for now, but it feels like he's going to die here in the end. They do get the Shaman in at the last minute to rescue that Ember Spirit, so he is fortunately kept alive at the back of that one.
Lifesteal are choosing to play a lot more passively now, knowing the amount of danger he's in lane.
Indeed he is, and cleverly so. Meanwhile, a hero we haven't really talked about so far is the Morphling. 37-6 on this Morphling already.
Yeah, if Morphling gets a good game, he stomps it. Oh, getting the Lifestealer kill at the top lane. Marcy playing really aggressive. Level 4 on both of them now.
Congratulations. It's your first cast, and you've just given your first caster curse. We say the Lifestealer is playing very conservatively, keeping himself alive, and as soon as we say it, he fucking walks up and dies. It's the story of my life.
Well, from what I saw, he died under tower there. The Marcy was playing really ballsy.
Yeah, Marcy plays a ballsy. Muko very experienced on this hero, and it shows here. Attempt to go out here onto the Marcy. Marcy could be in some trouble, but you do still have a Viper backing you up with the rebound, and he just takes himself and the Viper away, so nothing they can do there to finish off that go, but at least a lot of damage dropped onto Marcy's head.
They saw an opportunity and they went for it. Too much mobility on the Marcy, but it was good damage. Could have given him a chance to push up the lane again.
Most certainly. Level 6 now picked up from the Ember Spirit, so Ember now given that ability to be able to gank a little bit more, potentially do something in this game for the next 2 minutes, and he's going to need to do so. He is doing okay versus the Leshrac, but the other 2 lanes, not so much. 17-4 on the pause one for Sosal, into 49-7 on this Morphling.
Leshrac stepping up there, trying to keep the Ember away from the farm. I think Ember now having level 6 and heading back, he's about to get full mana. He could go for a gank on one of the lanes here.
It seems like that's exactly what he's going to do, is he TP's bottom, potentially anticipating an invade onto their Wisdom rooms. They do get both Wisdoms this game, which they did not get in their first series. Still a 2k net worth advantage at 7 minutes, so you are still... Oh, did they not? See? I did not see this. Jamapo did manage to steal it. My apologies. It was too late. Really good steal there coming out from Jamapo. So double wisdoms again for the side of the 5 stuns boys. And it can't be said just how important that is, especially in games like this when you want global silence and snakes, right?
I'm surprised they got both of the wisdoms. I felt like that could have been dealt with, but now that they've got it, they're just going to keep snowballing. They're going to keep pushing forward.
Indeed they are. Mid tower taken out while the Ember is gone as well. They're going to rotate in support. The Silencer is here trying to play some damage onto the Leshrac, but the Ember Spirit actually runs away during the time. He's back in now with the Remnant taking a lot of damage here on the Lesh, might go down to the Flame Guard, and that last use there, that Sleight of Fist, is enough to take down Cannon.
That's a very nice rotation from the Silencer there. I love you too, Chromosomes. Thank you.
Indeed it is, and it means that they get their first kill of this game, and it is still 3K. We're not going to shortcut things, but it's looking a lot better than last game.
It's looking a lot better than last game, definitely. They have a better draft this time. They're playing it better. They seem to be rotating and actually looking at the map more.
Indeed, they are.
He's still playing aggressive.
Yeah, she tries to get that jump there, the rebound onto the Shaman, but doesn't quite connect. Still, though, the Viper just farming to his heart's content at this point.
One wrong move on Sosal, and they're dead.
Absolutely. They are literally in a pit of Vipers. Any moment could be the wrong one. The Shaman is alone right now as this Lotus is being taken. It is scanned out as well, but Leicester is able to walk away from that one. Does still have the Enrage up if they choose to go him as well. So very careful positioning from the Leicester does mean that he is able to steal that one away. But all this time, the Viper is still just farming. Dragonlance to be finished up soon. The Manta thereafter. Go now onto the Marcy. Marcy could be in huge trouble here. They rotate in this Ember Spirit, and now the slows Rouser out onto the Viper. And a huge pick-me-up there from Muko. Gets them both out. They have the Sleight of Fist in just a second. The use there of the Banish coming out from this Shadow Demon, though, stops this fight in its tracks. Great TB there from Jam Apple to be able to stop that go.
That is very bad for Sosal. Ember deciding to rotate top lane is not great here. The Diabolic Edict has been pushing up all game. He's got a free lane here. Tier 2 is in trouble. I don't know if he should have done that.
Yeah, it's starting to look pretty rough for this mid tower, and he's going to walk towards it now with this Edict, with that creep wave. They're going to have to potentially drop a Fortify here, or just let it go, and indeed, call them frozen. They're going to let it go.
They need another rotation. They need to take out this Shrek, but it might be a bit too late.
Yeah, they're rotating all of these heroes down here. They don't quite connect there with the Silencer in time, so Leshrac is able to walk away from them, and even against the slows, Putnam now has that Illusion Rune to be able to just walk away from something like this, and is able to do so. So mid-tier 2 taken out at 10 minutes with no punish.
2 rotations on Sosal, 1 top lane, 1 mid lane, and they're not getting anything out of it. It's a lot of space for 5 stuns.
Indeed it is, and Morphling definitely making use of that space. The Vladimir's finished up and now building into that Manta.
Going for on Wraith King here. Oh, they're going for another Radiance on the Lifestealer. What time do you think they're going to hit it this time?
I mean, pre-20, right? Ooh, maybe not. Maybe
the amount of pressure being put on them, I don't know if it will be.
22, 23, I don't know. It feels fucking rough. Sorry, I thought he was doing better than he was. Got the triple gauntlets and phase boots, which is not a mark of confidence, I'll admit. And now they're making it go onto this Lifestealer. The pick-me-up lands, is immediately out onto him. The ult is dropped as well. And they're doing just so much damage so quick. The Shaman tries to stop this fight in its tracks, but it's only going to be temporary. He's going to have to hop out of that Shaman when Shaman dies. Does hop out of him and now tries to make a run back in, and then quickly realizes maybe not. Tries to use the Enrage to stay alive, but they do have that Demonic Curse coming out from the Shadow Demon, which means he is going to go down. And now the Shaman is a nice after-dinner mint. Interesting disruption, I will say, but still getting the kill nonetheless.
Yeah, the Shrek and Shadow Demon being ready there for it, turning it around quite easily.
They force out the Fortify on this tower, but they actually fortify their own wave in return to try and keep it alive, at least for now. So much damage going into this top tier 2, and it feels like they might lose 2 tier 2s at 12 minutes at this point. And in the meantime, Morphling remains untouched in this bottom lane. Attempt to go now. Nice banish there from the Shadow Demon. Really good positioning, but I think we still might be in some trouble here on this Leshrac. He actually pulls the wrong hero, brings the Viper out instead. Leshrac staying alive, at least for now, is walking away from this. Leshrac actually, interestingly, picked up the mechanism first. Leshrac does go down at the start of this fight, so they take the tier 2, but they do lose their mid laner in order to do so. And a couple couriers.
It's a pretty big catch for Sosal getting the Leshrac, but losing another tier 2 at 12 minutes in. Devastating. Shadow Demon going to go down here, I think.
Yeah, he looks like he is in a beautiful location called Schitt's Creek. No paddle in sight. Down goes Jam Apple, and MMR Slayer, importantly, the one to pick up that kill. So the road to the Radiance, 10 yards of it have been paved.
The entire team going on the Shadow Demon. They must hate him. Morphling getting free farm in the bot lane, though. He's loving it.
Yeah, I mean, 106 last hits at 13 minutes. You're feeling Pretty damn nice 0-0-0. A true Wolves need no armor game coming out here from the Morphling. Nothing to worry about in this bottom lane. And the Leshrac also off to a really nice start. Talk me through this Leshrac mech rush. Is this normal on this hero right now?
I was thinking that in the last fight. I honestly haven't seen it before. I have seen Guardian Greaves. It's similar with Razor and Leshrac. You know, if you want to be in the middle of the fight, you want prolonged fights. Guardian Greaves seems very strong right now, but he's not finishing it. Maybe he's thinking about going for this new item and then going Guardian Greaves. Consecrated Wraps has been pretty strong despite the nerf. Movement speed is nice on Leshrac as well.
This item just feels like it is on almost every hero throughout the entirety of ESL Birmingham. Even with the nerf, it still feels extremely strong. I mean, the nerf itself was pretty major, you know, -3% the magic resistance, -5% the movement speed. But even with that, it still feels like such a core item. Go now from the Marcy out onto the Shaman, and the Shaman drops the wards for that, which are just going to be farmed immediately thereafter.
That's free money for them.
Most certainly. Although it might bait the supports staying around. He actually pops the ultimate so he can farm the wards faster. Kind of a Giga Chad move here on the Marcy. You know, he's like, that's half my net worth right there, baby. I'm happy to take that. And gives him the money to finish up his arcane boots.
Yeah, Consecrated Wraps is very strong. Movement speed is just such a valuable stat.
Attempt to go out here. They're going to catch the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon's in huge trouble. Can be rebounded out, though, and the rebound does come out from the Marcy to pick me up, taking the Shadow Demon out of this fight. Gotta say, if I have a player of this game so far, Muko on this Marcy has just been really strong.
He's been playing really well. A lot of rebound saves here. I think I've seen it about 4 times. Been on the edge of my seat thinking he was about to die, and then he comes out with the jump.
Indeed, and Leshrac is going to choose to finish off those Consecrated Wraps. Just the recipe to go now, and very close to finish it off. Meanwhile, the Morphling opting for the Manta style will have a finish in just a couple minutes. That feels like that might be their timing. Finishing off that Manta style, pushing through this bottom wave, taking the Tormented there afterwards, and then edging towards Roche.
Lifesteal of only 41 last hits here. He's not going to get this Radiance very quickly. I really don't know if it's the play.
Do we think it's 22, or was that ambitious?
It's a bit of a repeat from last game. If you're going for such an expensive item like that on such little farm, you're going to be falling behind. When he eventually hits it, they're going to be pushing high ground again.
Indeed, and look at the amount of damage the Morphling does with even one use there of the Adaptive Strike. It forces out the Rage Walk Away, which you never want to see when you're playing this Lifestealer into Morphling matchup. It just feels absolutely horrendous, but this Morphling is just so far ahead right now, you know? Like, essentially, a ginormous amount of agi, 136 agi on those Adaptive Strikes. Smoke now popped from the side of 5 stuns. They do break it under the tower. The Lifestealer did see that. They dropped the ward behind the tower to give them the vision. They are going to do exactly what we thought. They're going to barrel down this bottom lane and use that as a movement to go into this Tormentor there afterwards. The tower melts like Kerrygold butter in the mist. And now it's just a tier 2 that stands between them and having no outer towers at 16 minutes.
ED being on Leshrac, I think they're going to stay bot side here. They're going to try and go for the last tier 2. I don't know if Sosal will come and try and defend this. They know they're quite behind. They might just have to let it go.
Indeed they are, and with this edict in the DD, it just crumbles. So that is all outer towers taken by the side of 5 stuns, and not one tier 3 taken so far for Sosal.
Reacting quite late there to the tower defense. They should be farming the rest of the map here. Let the tower go, take advantage of the fact that they're all bot side and go farm the rest of the map.
Doesn't feel like that's what they want to do here, and out comes the Viper Strike. It's on top of the Ember, but it's quite a small remnant, and allows Muko to come up with a ginormous rebound, catches both of them. They kill off the Ember Spirit, and that is a 40-year-old at the wheel. Global silence, if ever I have seen it. They try to make it go onto the Leshrac, but it's not enough. The Wraithkin's going to go down as well, as is the Silencer. It is a 3-0 at the end of this fight. Ultimate's expended, Ultimate's wasted. The side of 5 stuns can just walk up onto this high ground.
Leshrac's going to melt this tower now. We said at the start of the game the Silencer was a good pick, considering the rest of the picks from Team 5 stuns. But if he messes up that global silence, it's not going to do much for them.
Yeah, very important that you press the R button when your heroes are dying. And unfortunately, just wasn't able to do that this time. Some cheese sauce on the keyboard, perhaps, that was impenetrable to the strength of his thumb. And it means that they lose that fight quite heavily. And with that edict, the first lane of barracks goes down at 17 minutes.
You got to have fast reaction times, especially with the global. Not being able to press that R button in time, devastating for them.
Most certainly. And now they feel like they can just keep barreling. They go down this mid lane immediately there afterwards. They have the Tormentor spawning in a minute and a half. That might be something they look towards, as they do actually end up going back and finishing off the Guardian Greaves on the Lesh.
I think they're going to be greedy here. They're going to keep pushing mid, try to take more Rex.
I think so too, especially because there is no ultimate on the Wraith King, so he's just dead immediately at the start of this fight. Nothing he can do to try and stop this. And the Edict out in the tower, they do get off the Hex and the Shackles. It's out onto the Lesh track, but they haven't even finished up the Spirit Vessel yet on the Ember Spirit, so he heals immediately there afterwards, forced to use the Remnant there defensively to get out of the fight. And now it feels like a second lane of Barracks is just going to fall extremely quickly for the side of Sosal. They do pop off that Fortify, which temporarily puts the kibosh on the plans of Team 5 Stuns, but they'll be back.
No global silence, a dead Wraith King straight away, but the Lifestealer has Sacred Relic now.
Oh, 3 more minutes was our prediction. I think it might be longer.
It's getting close.
Indeed it is. What's not close here, though, is this tower, as it gets immediately chomped down by 5 stuns. The Viper also doing so much damage. I've never seen so many high fives in the high ground in all my life. In comes the Ember. Global Silence is popped at a good time this time. This is their best chance of a fight, but the Morphling immediately mantis it off and jumps straight in. And now the fight feels disastrous. The Wraith King dead for a 3rd time in a row in fastest session. The Ember Spirit doing what he can to stay alive here. Morphling versus Shaman. I know how this story ends. The Shaman goes down, and it feels like the Ember is too. Lifestealer, last one left alive, sitting inside the Ember Spirit. That is a team wipe for the side of 5 stuns. That is Sosal looking like they might be exiting at this point from the Irish Dota League.
Definitely was a bit of global silence this time, but they needed that a couple of fights ago. Too late for it. They almost got the track because of it, but eventually they just got rolled over.
I think the most unfortunate thing about this is that it means that we're going to have even longer until that Radiance is finished up. My prediction will come true. These guys must be sore from high-fiving each other so much. Their palms must be aching at this point, surely.
No, it's beautiful. It's sportsman-like, you know. They love each other. Lots of high fives.
Yeah, lots of love between these two teams is certainly something I would say, having watched this first series and read the chat. This tower
Nothing
going
but love
down.
in the chat.
Indeed, love and kindness. Jump in though onto the Lesh, but immediately the Viper's there to back him out, and the Wraith King might just die again. He has the respawn this time, you know, so this is big. Not going to die in the first go. Missed rebound there from Muko, but in the back lines, they are going to lose their Lifestealer again. And now transforms into the Lifestealer to jump in onto the Ember. The Ember gets a melee Remnant off. It's not enough. Lifestealer down. The Shackles is there. They also lose Mikoshka on the Silencer. It's 3-0, and now it might just be a 21-minute GG.
I think that was the first rebound I saw Muko miss this game.
Yeah, I gotta say, incredible performance here from Muko. This is the last dying grasp of this big Sosal side, and that is GG. The side of 5 stuns take this game in extremely dominating fashion, and they will be the second finalists of Division 4 of the Irish Dota League. What are your thoughts on the game, Benny?
Looking at the stats now, it was I thought they had a better draft than last game, honestly. They were playing better in lane. They definitely had a better draft, but it seemed to end even quicker. Didn't even get the Radiance this time. Too many misplays, reacting too slowly. Eventually it all adds up.
It fell apart quite quickly for them. Folks, let's see some love in the chat for Benny, casting for their first time. Did an absolutely amazing job. Thank you so much, Benny, for joining me. Thank me, as always, to our wonderful observer this night, which was Taylor Dota. A reminder, folks, coming up in just a couple of weeks on the 18th and 19th of April, I should say, we have a LAN coming up in Belfast. If you met any of the Irish guys in Birmingham, you want to hang out with us again, get a beer, or you just want to experience what local community LANs feel like, come to Belfast on the 18th and 19th. All details are available at our Discord, which you can join by going to dota2ireland.com. For myself, Runnintel, I'll see you guys all soon, hopefully for our Div 4 final. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks.